Hello everybody. Today I want to talk to you guys about a console that's very special to me and one of the reasons why I started this channel. That console is known as the one, the only, Nintendo Famicom. Now this right here is the Famicom. It comes with two controllers that are connected to the console. It's controller one, and then it comes with a second controller right here, which is almost entirely the same, except this one has a speaker, and I believe this is used to say commands and words in certain games. Once you say them, it picks it up and it shows the commands on the screen. So right here, the Nintendo Family Computer, also known as the Famicom, has a port. This port, I believe, was used for extra controllers, but it was also used for a lot of accessories. This Famicom in Japan actually had a ton of accessories. It even had a Famicom disk system that you would connect directly to this console. This console is very special because when you look at the back here, it has an AC adapter, TV and game, channel 1 and 2, and it also has something here that was modded. Now this originally was where an RF cable would go, but this was modded so an auxiliary to AV cable could work on it. Now that opens this up to make this console compatible with American TVs and a lot more screens worldwide. Over here is the lid. You flip it over. You could put your game in here. You put your game in here. This is the power and off. This is the power on button. Here's the reset button. And to eject the game, that was loud. And to eject the game, you just pull that up and the game came out. Speaking of the games, I don't have a ton of them, but these are the games that I bought over a decade ago now. So this right here is Dragon Quest II. In America, it's known as Dragon Quest as well. It's one of the greatest JRPGs of all time. Another game that I have is Dragon Unit. It kind of looks like a rip-off clone of Dragon Quest. I don't exactly remember what the gameplay was of this game, but I'm excited to test it out and we'll see together. Here's a game called Tiger Heli. I feel like it speaks for itself. And then I have a game that I've shown before. It is Dragon Ball Z on the Famicom. Let's set this up and test out those games and see exactly what Nintendo was providing in Japan in 1983 when this console released. So for the auxiliary to AV cable, it is exactly what it sounds like. It is a cable that has an auxiliary cord that connects straight to an AV. And now you just plug it in here, just like that. You bring over the screen that I use, plug this in, plug the power cord into the Famicom itself, and then for the first game, let's test out Dragon Quest II. We just plug it in here, pull this up for power, and nothing. So it looks like the game is not properly working. It is most likely because the pins are dirty or dusty. So what we could do now is turn it off, eject it out, and we can clean the pins here, which should make it work flawlessly. So to do that, we need a Q-tip and we need some rubbing alcohol. All you want to do is get the Q-tip, dip it in a little bit, get your game, and just clean it as well as you can. Really get all those connectors, all those pins. So now let's try it again and hopefully it should just run flawlessly. Let's put this in, power it on. Let's reset it. Huh. That usually works. Maybe it's just still dirty. So let me clean it up a bit. Once I get it fully clean, oh, wait up, wait up. Something is showing up. And there we have it. Dragon Quest II on the Famicom. Wow. Looks like there's a continue. It looks like part of it is cut off, so I'm just gonna click. Okay, I'm gonna reset it because I did this wrong. There we have it. Enix presents. Now, back in the day, Square and Enix were two completely different studios. Later on, they joined together and became Square Enix. So I can't read Japanese at all, so I'm just going to be mashing the A until we get outside and hopefully we're able to battle some enemies. And now we're finally in the main overworld and enemies should start popping up. So there's a couple slimes right there. I think they are killing me. Yes, I think they were attacking me. And it looks like I'm about to die on the very first enemy that I encountered. Since I can't read and I'm just clicking A, it makes sense, but that shouldn't have happened. So now let's move on to another game. For some reason, it seems like this cartridge is not working at all. I am not sure what's wrong. I did clean it extensively. Dragon unit was a bust for now. Let's try this game Tiger Heli and see if this will work. It looks like it wants to work, but it's just not doing it. So I'm gonna move on from this game and let's try Dragon Ball Z. Let's plug it in and give it a go. Okay, now it's doing the same thing that Dragon Quest was doing. Oh, it fixed itself. Okay, that's awesome. That's amazing. There's Raditz. Let's see, that's Piccolo. There's Goku and Gohan and Master Roshi. And there's Raditz. It's telling the story of Dragon Ball Z. This is the very first arc in Dragon Ball Z. Raditz does come and take Gohan away. Goku and Piccolo go on their way to go save Gohan from Raditz. Now this is a Cyberman, and it looks like we're just fighting random enemies as we go through the game to find Raditz and Gohan. I'm not exactly sure what each one of those cards do, but it looks like I'm just attacking him. I feel like this match should have been a lot quicker because the Cybermen are pretty weak in the Dragon Ball anime. I'm not sure if there's a run button, but let's go and just do this. Hopefully it destroys him in this round. I keep pressing A when I know the game just does it automatically. And it looks like it's a Saiyan and a bunch of random Nappas. My bad, I didn't mean a bunch of Nappas. I meant there's a Saiyan and a bunch of different Cybermen. The blue Cybermen, I forgot if they had a different name or if they were just blue Cybermen. And honestly, I'm not sure if that is Nappa. As you can see, the pixel art, even though it is nice, you can't clearly tell who it is, especially on the screen, which is making it very blurry. And it looks like I'm just getting beat up by a bunch of different characters. That's all I wanted to show. So that was some gameplay from this system right here. This system, which I believe was either released in 1982 or 1983 in Japan. Now, one thing that's very interesting is outside of America, there really wasn't a video game market crash. See, in America, there was a lot of games that were being made that were not good and just destroying the market, and people were just sick and tired of video games in general. But outside of America, in Japan, in the UK, video games, I wouldn't say they were thriving, so to speak, but they were around and they were doing pretty well. It was a nice little niche that people had. Obviously, now gaming is one of the biggest things in the entire world, but it's interesting to think that there was a time where gaming in its infancy still was still was doing well, even outside of America. I bought this unit a very long time ago, mainly because of the mod, and I really want to be able to play this on a regular TV, and I'm very glad I was able to all those years ago. Nowadays, Nintendo actually released a Nintendo Switch Online for the Nintendo Switch, and on the Nintendo Switch Online, there's a bunch of different consoles on there. One of the consoles is the NES, and in Japan, they have a Famicom section. The really cool thing is if you have a Japan account, you can just download the Famicom section and be able to play Famicom games in their original Famicom way. They even have a Bluetooth Famicom controller that looks just like this, and it comes with two of them, just like these do, just like it did originally back in the day. Now the Famicom is very important because Famicom changed how video games were looked at. With Nintendo releasing games such as Mario, Legend of Zelda, Metroid, list goes on, we finally had a console that not only played video games, but had story, had depth. We were really in the future of video games at this point. For the Famicom, we had Atari systems, a lot of low-bit video game systems, which are still amazing to this day. They just weren't the big jump in video games that we needed at the time. And with 2D platformers and then in the future 3D platformers, games just changed forever. The influence that this brought to the rest of the world is still in video games today, and it's really awesome to see. This little box, this little family computer is not only one of the first arrays of Nintendo video games. Without this unit, we would have never got the NES. Who knows how the video game crash in America would have been if this didn't translate to America. Maybe today all we would have is just a bunch of niche groups of people playing video games in America. Maybe we would just have a bunch of arcades. This needed to exist so video games in America can be what they became. And yeah, guys, that's all I wanted to share today. Please like and subscribe. I hope you have a fantastic day.